Let's talk about the hottest movie that came out this week, the highly anticipated sequel to the 1988 Michael Keaton, Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin classic, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, you did it.
Is what it's called. The second one is called Beetlejuice.
Did you guys grow up loving the first Beetlejuice? Was that like a thing?
Yeah, I did.
I hadn't seen it until this year, Flying to PAX
Really?
East. I had just never cared about it.
Oh, wow.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just curious. I think most kids grew up with, people our age grew up with Beetlejuice, but I just didn't.
For me, it was Ghostbuster syndrome. I had seen the movie around, but really it was the cartoon that I was obsessed with, and then saw the movie a little later. But I loved it once I saw it, and then as I got older, watched it, and it was kind of a little harder to get through. But I appreciated the creativity. And I watched it recently, and I liked it more.
I didn't really like it. I did not really enjoy it that much when I watched it. I was like, oh, that
too
was
perverted.
But maybe it was just that like I heard about it my whole life, and I finally saw. I'm like, that was it, huh? It didn't do much for me.
It was very creative for a movie that came out in '88, and seeing that as when I was younger, seeing all the effects in it, it was like, whoa, you know, that was like cool.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's fine. It was like I hated it, but I just didn't like love it. You know?
I loved it as a kid. You know, they die and then they go to the afterlife, and it's run like the DMV. I just felt like that was really appealing to me as a kid.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, when you're that young, school and institutions seem so like foreign and just like mind numbing, and then also, you know, like ghosts and then the idea of death. There was just so many things kind of mixed together.
It's like, what is hell? It's the DMV.
Exactly.
I mean, that is
yeah,
that's very accurate.
Dealing with the waiting,
which was kind of a
DMV.
novel idea at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And also again, like Tim Burton's whole vibe was really bold at that time.
True.
You know what I mean?
And you got Danny
he was in
because
his stride.
Because I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, it's another Tim Burton movie." But you're right. That was
that broke that
to me.
That's true.
I feel like Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands are like the two peak examples of Tim Burton's like filmmaking.
I saw someone tweet this this week, and it stuck with me. Where people were like, "When did Tim Burton get bad? Like, when did he? You know,
after Ed Wood."
Well, it was no. Someone said this, and it was no. I'm not disagreeing, but I just it wasn't even a particular movie. It was the moment he figured out his thing. Like I was like, that's worded perfect. You know what I mean? It was like once he figured out what people expected from him, I feel like you immediately saw that. Yeah.
Well, I have thought about this for many, many years because I grew up in the 90s and I loved Tim Burton, but I do feel like he was on a trajectory of his movies kept getting better and better. And I almost feel like he swung for the fences with Ed Wood, which people consider to be like the movie where he was kind of going for an Oscar. But it didn't get the Oscar. And then after that, I don't know what happened, but there was definitely like a shift in what he made. I don't know exactly what his next movie was after that. I think it was Mars Attacks, maybe?
See, I like Mars Attacks. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, but that kind of starts to mark the shift in like, it's not quite like, it's just not quite as good as the ones that came before Ed Wood.
When I was younger, I really liked Big Fish, but I feel like I might be in the minority on that one. But I really
Big Fish, I think, comes from this era where he made like Sleepy Hollow and Big Fish, and before he started making all these like mainstream shit fests.
Yeah,
he was just kind of like I don't know what you would call it, but it's like late stage kind of good Tim Burton, but not peak late 80s, early 90s.
Did he do Sweeney Todd?
Yeah,
but
it's around that.
That was
era.
late stage mainstream shit.
I'm in there with you. That's when he jumped the shark for me. It was like I think Sleepy Hollow is pretty good, and then everything after that starts to kind of until we got to Wonka.
Yeah, Tim.
Which was the. I think that is the.
About that.
That's the glaring.
I blocked that from memory.
Like red mark, on his list.
Big Fish was I thought was a cute movie when it came out, but that to me is always the example of there are movies that I like and then a second viewing deteriorates it
ruins
completely.
it.
That was one where I said someone wanted to watch it. Oh, I've already seen it, but I'll watch it again. And I was like 10 minutes in. Oh, I gotta watch all this guy's fucking stupid
Gotta watch all
stories
this
again.
shit again.
Oh, I then the popcorn froze in the air as I saw this girl. I know. He's
I feel
making
like
all
it
these
was
stupid stories.
It was cool for like
Yeah.
2003 or
Yeah,
whatever.
it was cool. It was cool for a minute.
It was like right out of high school cool.
yeah.
Mhm.
But in my opinion, all the way up until Ed Wood is like great, and
Yeah,
then after
yeah,
that, it kind of starts to dip until like the mid 2000s, and then maybe like after Big Fish when he starts doing like Sweeney Todd and Alice in Wonderland and all that stuff, Corpse Bride, that's when it's just like.
But he did this though. He did Beetlejuice. This is
Yes.
a Tim Burton
He's
film.
back.
He's back. What was his one before this? It's been a while. I feel like.
Oh God, what was his last
Alice in
movie?
Wonderland 4.
I don't know.
Oh, he didn't even. What's
What?
that? Yeah, Dumbo.
Oh, Dumbo.
Okay, now I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, someone here to back it up is not here. I heard Dumbo was low key good. These Disney remakes are like the scourge of the earth. I won't watch them, but I was hearing from people. So everyone skipped Dumbo. It flopped.
Yeah.
But I kept hearing people say, it sucks that everyone dipped once Dumbo came around because that one was actually all right. What I had heard was, if you've ever seen the original movie, the original movie goes to the movie ends with he flies.
Right.
Like he learns to fly and that's it.
Yeah.
And then everything I heard was with this movie, it goes to that point and then there's a second half to the movie.
Oh.
So they kind of Metroid Zero missioned the Dumbo verse.
Got a little.
Is that a sentence you thought you'd hear today?
Dude, Dumbo's a wild kids cartoon where we're gonna have a sad story about an elephant for the entire movie until the very end. He flies. Goodbye. It's like that. Okay.
Seriously,
Thank you.
when I revisited it, I was like, this is where the movie really like kind of
This
brings
is
it
the-
back
yeah.
up. Oh, credits.
Okay.
Apparently, he made a movie called Big Eyes. You guys heard
Oh
of Big
yeah,
Eyes?
I did hear Big Eyes.
Because it got good
That
reviews.
was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
About, a painting debacle.
With Big Eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes were really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy
Uh,
took credit.
Yeah, after Big Fish, he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Wow.
Yeesh.
Followed by Corpse Bride,
Mm.
Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, Dark Shadows.
I
yeah.
liked that.
I heard Frankenweenie was good. I didn't see that one.
Frankenweenie was okay too.
Big Eyes, Dumbo, and Beetlejuice.
I will say, I said this to them before. I think the name Beetlejuice is one of the best sequel names.
Yes, I agree.
Oh yeah, it's great.
You know, that is so clever. Even like, I thought, I didn't see this movie, but Dumb and Dumber 2 being spelled wrong, that's great.
Yeah,
that was
T.O.
that's a good sequel title.
That was a great sequel.
But this is a good one. Beetlejuice
Yeah.
is a great title.
They kind of blew their load on the title, I feel like.
Did they? Okay. Well, I'm curious what you guys have to say about this because I haven't
Who
seen
saw it?
I
These
saw
two.
it. Rocco
Okay.
saw it.
Yeah.
Rocco
Johnny saw it. He's up on the board.
Dun, 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 dun.
What'd you think?
For a movie that I never thought would ever get a sequel, why would they make a sequel? I remember Kevin Smith talking about it when he used to do his talks, where they were trying to get him to write Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, why are they doing this? So that always seemed like a joke to me. Even sitting in the theater, they had an image like, preview screening, Beetlejuice, and it was a picture of modern day Michael Keaton in the makeup. It felt like this feels like a fake movie they would advertise in a real movie, you know?
Yeah.
But that being said, for a movie I never thought would get a sequel, I thought it was a cute follow-up. Like I thought it was in the spirit of the original one. It wasn't like a mind blower, but I don't really know what else they could have done with a follow-up to Beetlejuice. I thought it was cute. That's about all I had to say.
What do you think?
I felt like it was ultimately kind of unnecessary. It felt kind of like rushed, like kind of like a cash grab, as you might expect a Beetlejuice movie to be. I think on an aesthetic level, you can enjoy it. On an aesthetic level, it's really cool. They do a lot of like practical stuff. There's a light use of CGI, but it's not heavy. It's a lot of like real sets and like
Oh,
forced
that's cool.
perspective, and that was cool. But story-wise, it was so just like forgettable and like surface level and kind of like not worth it, honestly.
How's the acting? Because the casting is like super impressive to me. I think I like everyone in that movie.
Winona Ryder, I did not like her acting in this
Oh,
movie.
really?
She seems like she's permanently.
She
I don't know what was happening.
She's
She's permanently in that state.
I hate to say this because I think I like Winona Ryder a lot from my
Yeah.
memories of her the night. She was bad in this movie.
Huh.
But who was surprisingly really fucking good was Justin Theroux. I thought
I love him.
I've always
I
loved
love
And,
Justin
I love
Theroux.
him, and I don't see him in much,
and
so I was excited.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie.
Yeah, I know.
And,
Oh, he
he's
is?
great.
Justin Theroux, Willem Dafoe play minor characters, side characters, but they were my favorite part
They
of
were
the
good.
movie.
Okay.
They were good. There's a character in this movie played by, I think it's Monica Bellucci.
Yeah,
Oh,
Monica Bellucci.
hell yeah. Oh, no.
Who's that?
She's a babe, dude.
She's a babe, totally, but like
I don't-
she was so pointless to the whole plot of the movie.
Yeah, this movie had like 9 different stories that kind of they didn't write a conclusion to.
Yes.
So they put them all in.
I agree. It's a lot of Deus Ex Machina towards the end of it. We're like, well, we have so many things. How do we fix this? All right, well, there goes that one. There goes that one.
Yeah, but I will say there was this. I don't know how to say this. This is like it almost made it funnier to me. Like I was able to enjoy it in spite of that, just because I was enjoying the talking about the effects.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen a movie where every special effect was like a treat instead of God, what do they do? I mean, especially the last movie that I saw. I'm not going to name that one, but there was a certain special effect that nearly gutted the fucking movie. A certain human that didn't, or not human, that didn't need to be in it at all. But
Was it like an alien?
I'm not gonna say, but no, but with this one, every special effect, it felt like it had been so long since every effect I was like, that was cute. Oh, wow. Oh, how did they do that? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? It felt like a reward instead of a annoyance. So the movie was such a eclectic mix of like those effects, plus there's lots of like mixed media kind of parts to it where, let me explain what happened here. And it becomes like a foreign film and it's black and white and it's subtitled, and let's explain this, and it's stop motion animation and whatever.
Whoa, wow.
That I kind of
There's
did.
a lot of like backstories and flashbacks that are told through like animation.
Oh, that's
or,
cool.
Or, like foreign film
So
aesthetic.
all of those stories being like unfinished, like it was stupid, but at the same time, it being a part of this movie, I didn't mind it as much. It kind of almost just made it funny to me. Like I was willing to forgive that in this because it was all such a mishmash of weird little eclectic bits. So I was forgiving of it, but that doesn't, I agree with you. You know what I mean? Like I agree. There's certain times, Derek, you and I will maybe have different perspectives on should I see this or not, but we'll agree on the details. I agree with you on all the details, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's where I sit with it.
For my main thing, I won't talk too much about it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but for me, a movie just comes down to, does it have an interesting story? And then everything else is secondary to that. Like, yes, the animation that they used is cool. Yeah, the practical effects are cool, but ultimately the story was really just boring. And for a large portion of the movie, it felt like there was no story. It felt like they couldn't decide who the main character is. Is it Jenna Ortega? Is it Lydia Dietz? Winona Ryder? They're kind of bouncing back and forth between who's the main character, and neither of them have a problem or a desire whatsoever. They're just kind of like experiencing things. The first Beetlejuice movie, I think, is really, it works because you have Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, a young couple that die in this house that they love, and then they see this artsy, pretentious family move into the house, and they're like, you're ruining our house.
Right.
We have to get rid of you. And their goal becomes, we're going to haunt this family to the point where they leave.
Yeah.
And they're so bad at haunting them, they have to enlist Beetlejuice.
Right.
And he is kind of this anti-hero, which at first you're on Beetlejuice's side because you're like, yeah, this pretentious family, they're the villain, and Beetlejuice is going to save the day.
Yeah.
But then as it starts to go on, because you like Lydia, you see like, well, the family isn't really the villain. It's actually Beetlejuice. It's like,
I don't want the demon to fuck my daughter.
Yeah.
It's like,
That-
wait, he's bad.
that element is gone now. It's just like the family is pretentious, but they're not the bad guys. They're the good guys. The whole like ghosts want to get you out of the house. That's not a part of this movie, and they have nothing that replaces that void. And a lot of the movie is just like, yeah, I'm unhappy. Why? It's just life. Yeah, yeah. It's like an hour of that.
I can't give you an elevator pitch on this movie like I could with the first one. Like you just did with the gist of it.
Yeah,
I can't really I couldn't.
It's
do
missing
that
like a major plot piece, which is just like anything that these characters are trying to accomplish. There's just a lack of goals for this movie.